Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 366 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Hollis Thomas, aka Damn Skippy, and Mal Davis. Today we are talking the 53-man projection. I know we talk about practice, franchise player in the league. We talk about practice. Practice is tomorrow starting at 10 o'clock. If you're not geeked for these moments, I don't know what kind of Eagle fan you are, but we'll just put you in that category. Obviously I'm excited. I know Hollis Thomas has been through enough Eagles camps, so he's going to give us a little taste of what it is like to be Eagle player going into a training camp. Mal, have you done an Eagles training camp?
Yeah, I did one of them back in what was that, 2001, baby. But I ain't make it though. I tried. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. Nah, no disrespect. I ain't even gonna disrespect because that's a hell of an accomplishment. Nah, of course not. But I would love to hear from Tank what it feels like and ready to report.
Well, you know what? It's you want to know about my first one or just after I got my feet wet and stuff and what to expect now. Actually, I do it two ways. I do it my very first one, and then I do it when once we were expected to win, like the team is expected to win now. So my very first one, I was scared than the son of a buck because it was just like it was an undrafted free agent. You coming in and stuff. They say you're gonna make the squad, but the motherfuckers have done things differently. Coming into training camp, you see it was the first 3 days are rookies and select veterans. So the first 3 days after you think you got your feet wet, you think you got the lay of the land, then the real shit
and the goons come in.
That and the real shit starts. So the first time coming in there is like you got as a college student, you pretty much moving up there. So you got all of your shit, and you moving everything until you got your big ass TV. I had a PlayStation, a big TV, and I had a boatload of. This is before internet, before the porn was so readily available by hand. So I had what the older guys called hand raising material.
The hand raising.
Yeah. So
word.
And so I had the DVDs, and I had the books as well. So, but it didn't stop just after my rookie year. Reporting when we were expected to win, that was awesome because I dressed like I am. The reason why I wore the tank top like now because you want to show up and show everybody that you've been working out and you ready to go. You want to show the guys you've been ready to go. So you show up like this with your shades on, with your TV, and with your air mattress and your blanket and your pillow and a few choice stuffed animals. That's a whole other story. And then you say what's up to everybody because you're happy to see everybody because it's been a while since y'all been together. It's been like at that point it's been like 6 weeks because at the end of the last mini camp you have like 6 weeks to get yourself together and get ready to whatchamacallit. And the first day is whether it was a rookie or now, it's the worst of all because it's the conditioning test. And with the Eagles, it wasn't that bad because it was just 16 half gassers, and you got like it was basically built like 4 quarters. So but it was like 4 quarters, and it was like that's the way we broke up the season into 4 quarters. So you only had a certain amount of time to rest between the half gassers, and it was quite brutal. 16 half gassers with 45 to 35 seconds rest. And guess when the rest starts? If you didn't make the time, the rest starts when everybody else has made the time. That's when the rest started. But then there was the effervescent being down with the New Orleans Saints and the 300-yard shuttles on 50-yard increments. That was brutal. I paid my way out of that one year, Uh, but it's like when you report to camp, it's like, dude, it's like it's almost like a new. Only way I can describe it is a new beginning and a chance to win a title. I was like, everybody was at the end of the previous year. If you didn't make it to the Super Bowl or you didn't win the Super Bowl, you're pretty pissed off. And you coming back and you looking to exact some street justice. And but the thing is, I think everybody's those first few days, everybody's going to be happy to be back together as a unit and build that camaraderie again to give us what we had to make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Talk about camaraderie. Evan Hollywood Hearn making his appearance. How
Hey,
you doing, my
Ed
friend?
Love.
My way in. This internet connection is killing me, man.
Okay. Gonna get you high speed this year. I'm feeling good, man. You feeling good about camp? I mean, we're a day away.
Dude. I mean, this is what I've been waiting for since February. This is finally an excuse to stop playing chess so much. I needed something this offseason to take my mind off of the Super Bowl loss, and we're finally here, man. And we're turning a new leaf. We got a new season ahead of us, and the future's bright, dude. I'm liking how this Eagles team is stacked up. I'm liking, Nick Sirianni going into another year of coaching with his quarterback. All signs point to glory, Gail. Okay. We're going to the promised land.
Talk about Eagles are working out some players, bringing some players in. They brought in Deion Kane. They also brought in N'Keal Harry. I mean, they might as well bring in Mal next because Mal is. You haven't met Mal. He's about 6'2", 6'3", 6'4".
Nah,
6'4", right?
Junior. Yeah, 6'4".
Okay, you can give him a run. So, I mean, how you feeling about camp, Mal?
Yeah, I'm excited, bro. Really want to see with the two new coordinators, especially for Brian Johnson, because I feel like so many people are questioning his ability to do X, Y, and Z. Can he install offenses? Does he understand offense? Can he handle Jalen? Can he make adjustments? Yeah. And so I'm excited to see him dispel these things and really get after it and propel himself into a head coaching position, because the OC spot is where you kind of pipeline your way into a leadership role. And so there's a chance for this team to really take it to the next level. As a whole fan base, we feel sick that everything ended the way it did. To be so close against a team that I think was absolutely beatable. And, we were very close considering all the things that happened. So just excited overall, man. See the team gel and hope for the best as far as injuries are concerned. Because, that's what I always worry about with training camp and the preseason is like every year some important person goes down. Multiple really good players get hurt at some point. And, that changes the whole season for a team. And so, we were fortunate last year. I just pray that we could keep it like that because football is a violent sport, man, right? Like, Tank, you speak about that all the time. And so, preserve these bodies, man. Be smart. Like Ev, you said, Nick Sirianni, he's now a veteran. He knows how to treat veterans. And so, let's play this thing the right way. Like, we got a team that can really do damage. But one injury away and it changes the whole thing.
The one thing I'm gonna let you go, but the one thing that I don't want to get mixed up in this is the only way to get prepared for the season is to actually play football. The one, you got to get. And I just heard somebody say today on actually it was Louis Riddick, that's my boy. He said it's like you don't want to come into the season and not get that those. It's like those soft tissue injuries. Like when you first come in, it's like you're in shape, but you're not in football shape. Right. And you might have been doing some stuff during the off season, but I found that it's nothing like when you're going against somebody for competition. There's nothing that can emulate that. And I just hope we found a balance, because it's like when you're a good team, you learn how to practice it's a way to practice the right way without hurting your hogs. Right. And I think they found a balance of practicing the right way, practicing hard at first, and then pulling off. And there's some guys that are Ferraris that you can't burn. You can't burn the midnight oil. Yeah, it's like it's gonna be a hamstring, or it's gonna be a calf or something, a strain, mostly a strain. But you got to get that out the way early, because if you let somebody sit until that first week or so, that injury is like I've been in a position where I've had an ankle sprain that happened like right before the season started, and it hindered me all through the season.
Yeah, the whole year.
Yeah, and you know what ended up happening? I ended up tearing my bicep. Because I tore my bicep right when my ankle was healed properly, And I end up turning my body. So I'm like, damn, I can't win for losing. So it's like it's like, and it's just like you don't want that to happen to a player. You want everybody to come in. You don't want to peak too early. You don't want to pause. You don't want to shoot your load too early. but it's like, but as you coming up, you want to hit it like up here on the way into the season, and that's the best way I can describe it, because I was fortunate enough to have like the older guys around me, like Steve Wallace, who was and Riley McKenzie, Matt McIntyre playing guard. I had William Fuller playing next to me. I played. It was like so many older guys, Bill Johnson, older guys, and they were telling me you got to take care of yourself too, especially throughout training camp, because training camp is going to be rough. Not like the fresh air fun they have going on now, but it's just like you said. It's like some of our breakdowns in the 10, and 10, where there's no pads, was health, because it's like you never know what kind of freak accident will happen. So health is the main thing, though.
I think.
What was you gonna say?
I was just going to build off of what Hollis was saying. I really think that the misconception is that, like, these guys, and I'm not saying, I'm sure 99.99% of NFL athletes know this, but it's not so much like you're not losing strength during the off season, like all this working out, and it's the explosive motions that you're not doing in the off season. You know, you could stay in the weight room and keep on throwing up huge weight, but you're not doing those explosive motions that you're doing during the game, and that's where you end up blowing out a knee or.
Well, I would like to. One day, one of our listeners is Andrew Hurst, and he's found a balance between the a lot of times when we see he always tells me when somebody's going to get injured due to what they're doing in the off season, you can't put too much strain on your ligaments because of like what Evan said, because of the explosive movements that are going to happen during the season. So you just it's a way that you build strength. Either you want to play football or you want to be on the beach like an Adonis. And it's like you have to find a happy medium, because if you do like what Evan was talking about, those movements, if you do too many of those,
you're gonna blow your legs out.
So, and it's gonna be a non-contact thing that happens during the season. And everybody's gonna be like, damn. And that's why I hate when people say, well, what if he gets hurt? It's like it don't matter if he get hurt now next week. It's like if he's gonna get hurt, he's gonna get hurt. It's like so. It's like, and I'm happy you brought that up, Ev, because I talked to Andrew about that from base training. I talked to him about that all the time, because I had to ask, because he's a kinesiologist, and I was like, "How do you know this stuff?" And he was just like, "And I wish I had it when I was playing. If I had when I was playing, then I wouldn't have done half the stuff that I was doing, because you put that strain. Now you put that strain on your ligaments, and then once you put that strain on your ligaments, all those reps that you put on your ligaments, and then all of a sudden you explode them, like Ev said, it makes for a bad day."
Yep.
Now, Stephen Michael Puga, our resident comedian from AZ, starting off a question. We are going to get today, AZ. My bad, Texan. I actually talked to him the other day. But before we get into the roster, he said, "Who is your player this camp no one is talking about that will make some noise in the next few weeks?" I'll start with you, Mel.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that nobody is talking about him, but I will say that, like, I want to say Rashad Penny, bro. That I just think about the football player, man, and like we're talking about injuries, and if a dude's gonna get hurt, he get hurt, bro. When Rashad Penny plays, he's disgusting at football, son. And so I think that, over the next few weeks, we'll see how the running back room shakes out. But when you're talking about a player his size with his running ability that really gets north and south behind that offensive line that got Miles Sanders $6 million a year, you know what I mean? So I feel like he's a much better fit for this offense than maybe Gainwell is or DeAndre. So yeah, I'm excited, man. I think that Penny's gonna show out, and yeah, we'll see what the running game is gonna be nasty this year.
Yeah, what about you got?
Yeah. For me, honestly, the reason that I choose this guy is all because of what happened at the end of last year. I'm going to say Marcus Mariota. I think that we have a much better, backup quarterback that is more suited for this offense, more suited to step in and kind of fill Jalen's role should he go down. I'm not saying that he's going to have any type of training camp that's going to in any way, make people think that he should start. I'm simply saying that I think people are going to realize that he's a much better backup option than we had in Gardner Minshew last year.
Yeah. Now, I kind of got a couple of guys, but a couple of defensive guys that we picked up during the offseason. And I was saying like Greedy Williams and Edmonds. I think they're quietly, because it's like, if you look at what we did the same thing to them that we did with Bradbury, like bring him in here on the mercenary contract. And I'm looking for them to, because it's actually three guys, them and Evans, the kid Evans, because remember Evans is he'll be the second year removed from Achilles tendon tear, and it's gonna be interesting to see how those guys make up our secondary, because we have to culminate two new safeties. Well, our one guy who said he hated the people of Philadelphia and got hurt the first day in training camp. You see what happens. We wanted you to get paid. Don't be that guy. But if you look at it, look at all those guys that I just mentioned are really good, and they're coming off some injuries, and we're getting them 2 years removed from those injuries, and so it's going. I'm looking at that's what's going to solidify this team. If our safeties are where we need them to be, those and Greedy is another cornerback. So we need that type of depth at cornerback, because Zach McPherson, really Josiah Scott, really, I don't, but I want to see what those guys. Yeah, I think those guys are going to make some real headway along with Sidney. I think they're going to make Sidney Brown better. I just say it's just like when you look at the safety room, we got no safety from last year, and we just got, except for Blankenship. Blankenship was here last year, but it doesn't mean anything because it's a whole new system.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Milton Williams. No one's really talking about Milton.
Milton
Williams is looking. He's looking really in shape. He's looking.
Yeah.
He looks like. I mean, I really do think he has. Not that he has anything to prove, but I think he just the way that he's not talked about. I mean, we need to be talking about him.
You know why? But you know why we need to be talking about him. And I don't know if you guys know this. His stats from only playing 36% of the snaps is better than most starting defensive tackles in the NFL. Do you hear me? His stats from playing 36% of the snaps, he had 36 or 37 tackles, 3 sacks, and 9 tackles for loss. His stats are better. If you go look at most guys that play the whole season, because I would be appalled at coming out of the season with just touching somebody 30-some times. If you go look at my stats, I get no less than 60+ tackles a season.
88 in Madden. This guy over here.
Milton.
You.
For me, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's your prime, bro.
Well, no, it's like in my prime, 85 tackles and 5 sacks, and before that, 98 tackles. 98 tackles. I led the team 2 years in tackles and stuff. But it's like if you're not making plays, there's no room for you on the squad. But I love his progression and how you don't hear him making any noise. Like kind of like what Gil said. He's not making any noise, but he's making noise. That quiet noise. Hey, play me more. Play me more. And that's why I think that the rotation in the middle. If Jordan Davis don't come on with the come on, it's like I can see Milton and Jalen like overtaking that interior. That's just what I see.
I feel like Fletcher beat a man out, bro. That honestly, even if Jordan Davis ain't like all the way tuned up, you got to look at the future. If you're gonna choose one of those folks,
but you look at the
gotta be Fletch.
No, but he's gonna be the odd man out next season. They've paid him. They've guaranteed him too much this season for him not to be the odd man in. And given what he does, it's like, and he knows how to play. And it's like, if I feel like I'm happy that Jordan Davis got some of his teammates from Georgia here with him, because maybe they could light a fire under his ass. It's like, because like a lot of people would. I wasn't disappointed with him because I know he was dealing with a high ankle sprain, and I know the feeling of the pressure of coming back, wanting to come back, that pressure. But I want to see how he reacts this year to everybody, like everybody doubting him. And you got enough of your guys around. Yeah, that's Milton.
That's
Yeah,
incredible hope.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
man.
incredible.
That's
You
Milton.
you were
beast,
saying
bro.
it, Gail, as I
Yeah.
was literally downloading that picture before.
Yeah.
We're on the same wavelength. I was
Yes.
grabbing his picture while
That
It's like,
dude is.
when you look like that's a grown man.
that's a grown man.
That's all you
Speak,
can say.
Speaking of grown men, we do have a guy that he was almost MVP. He did kind of outplay Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Phenomenal performance. He'll still get doubted by the mainstream out there, but obviously Jalen Hurts is this leader of this football team. We're starting off the quarterback position. Very easy to figure out, except for if you want to get spicy. We can work this out together as a group here and in the chat. So you guys are welcome to give us your notes on we got three quarterbacks here. Jalen Hurts, obviously, Marcus Mariota, obviously. Now Tanner McGee and Ian Book. You have the rookie that they drafted. They might see something in him from Stanford. Ian Book, a second year in the offense. Are we?
I didn't talk up falsely Tanner McKee this entire offseason during the draft process just to watch him get beat out by Ian Book.
So Tanner McKee, you're sticking with him over Ian Book.
Yeah, I, to be honest, I don't know enough about the amount we've seen out of Ian Book in the time that he's been with the Eagles. I haven't even seen enough to tell me that he needs to have a spot on the squad. I think it's just next man up as far as that's concerned. Tanner McKee's got good size. He doesn't have that type of build I was talking about with Marcus Mariota as far as, what he brings to the table as a quarterback. But I think it's just next man up for QB3.
Well, actually, the funny thing is they know what Ian Book could do. Why would you keep somebody that you know what they could do? The proof is if Tanner does anything like not mildly spectacular, Ian Book is out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all in agreement. I think the chat is also there's not many book stands in the chat. So let's move along.
Time to close the book.
Ev, could you keep tally of where we're at?
Yes, I can.
So we got three. We got three. That means there's 50 spots left. Okay, running back. We have DeAndre Swift, Philly's own DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, Rashad Penny, Boston Scott. The versatility. Also 2 games a year. Last year 3. You got a giant killer in Boston Scott. Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon stands are alive and well in the comments. Kennedy Brooks from Oklahoma as well, running back. Got some size. Again, for you Trey Sermon stands, I did ask our running back coach his feeling on Trey Sermon and why he didn't get touches, because there's plenty of mouths to feed. So that means he didn't do enough to be in the equation. So how are we looking at running back? Any thing that stick out with these 4?
I mean, that's a pretty full barn right there as far as I'm concerned. We got a lot of good running backs. That's a good thing to have. Like I said on the last show, there's a lot of people going into this year that were pretty much content with Kenny Gainwell being the running back 1 here. Then you throw in DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny. You got Boston Scott for the Giants games. You're living large, man. Trey Sermon, that's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you, because when we initially brought him on, I was expecting him to kind of, pop into this formation. Yeah, do way more. And
do way more.
He's underperformed, and he's right where he belongs on that depth chart right now.
Yeah, the funny thing is I felt like when Kenny Gainwell did what he did in the Super Bowl and then the playoffs in general, I felt like he solidified himself with the coaches. But with DeAndre Swift, one of the knocks on him is he's often hurt, but he gives you what he gives you, and I think we have, and with Rashard Penny, we have a 3-headed monster that can get the job done, and then you add Boston Scott, who's going to be on all the special teams and stuff. So the Trey Sermon thing, I kind of highly doubt it. Yeah. It's like because He hasn't gotten it done to this point because it's like I was told in my rookie year. I was like, why is the coach always yelling at me? It's like you want him yelling at you because when he stops yelling at you, they're probably gonna send you home. And the Turk, I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know. You know what the Turk is? Is that they call him the Grim Reaper? No, the Grim Reaper. The Grim Reaper.
Playbook.
It's like the coach wants to see you with the playbook. So
that's for the playbook to wrap.
Yeah. So I feel like they just brought Trey Sermon back to see if he's going to get it. But I think they're whatever the other guys show them is probably going to be better than what Trey Sermon's doing.
I think that Rashad Penny has to get hurt during training camp early on, and like something where it makes sense to keep either Trey Sermon or Kennedy Brooks, because both of them are kind of like just another guy, Jags, right? That I think folks thought with Sermon in college that he maybe would be able to do it, but we've seen plenty of people make the transition to the NFL and just not be able to figure it out. So, but that's what training camp is for, man. If you go out there and you flash and you take somebody's job, that has happened. So, but yeah, I think the only way they end up making it is somebody has to get hurt, and it makes sense to keep them around.
To be fair, man, I'm still upset that we let go of Raheem Mostert all those years ago.
Yeah,
he did put up numbers, man. Mostert still. What is a Giant now, Mostert?
Yeah,
I thought he was on the Niners, no?
But I think he was. I think they traded him to I want to say the Dolphins first.
He was the Dolphins. I thought he's been on the Niners.
Is he not on the Giants now?
I don't know. I think he's
could be.
I don't know.
Anyway, but shout out to Prime in the building. He's working hard for his money. Our resident Trey Sermon stan is in the building. Trey Sermon wasn't good. That's why they let him go in San Fran. I think you were hyping up Trey Sermon a couple chats back. Bob from Down Under says Kevon Wallace broke Trey Sermon's heart muscle. 3rd round bust. Okay.
His heart.
Shout out to Donnie, who was at the first episode of 4th and Jawn. He says Sermon and Brooks go to the practice squad. Keep the rest. Okay. So I think we're all in agreement. That's 2 position groups in a row. There's no beef. Everyone's feeling good about themselves. How about we move right along to the receiver position? A lot of guys in here, so you guys figure it out here. Like I said, Harry just got a workout. We signed Deon Cain, AJ Brown, wide receiver 1, Devontae Smith, wide receiver 1A and B. Quez Watkins, the target is on him by everybody in the fan base. Obviously, he's getting the hype from Nick Sirianni. Zacchaeus brought in, can play the slot, can be a versatile weapon.
Who the hell is
ball in his hands. He is a wide receiver out of
UDFA.
Out of who?
He got the most money as a UDFA.
Tall guy.
I think I thought there was like a Haloti not a.
Now this guy is blacker than black.
I thought it was
the guy is Samoa. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. No.
I know Haloti. That's my guy. He's cool.
Britton Covey, obviously a punt returner who people want to see more wide receiver skills at him, but he was the guy that we all said he was going to make the team prior in training camp. A year ago, where people are like, now he's not going to make the team. He did make the team. G Ward, been on this team for years. Yeah. And then if you get to the back end, we have all these big bodies of Tyree Cleveland.
Yeah.
Nagata 6'3", Cleveland 6'2", Deon Cain 6'2", Charleston Rambo 6'2", Hazelwood I think 6'3", and then N'Keal Harry 6'4", who's just worked out. He's not signed yet. So how are we feeling about this squad right here?
For me, the top 4 are obvious. That being AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, and Olamide. I think really everybody's fighting for that 5th spot. Of the people that have the best opportunity, them bringing in Deon Cain, that was interesting. I thought he did pretty well last year during training camp and during the preseason. I thought he was pretty good. Devin Allen, the dude's obviously got the speed. But
I'm giving this to you. He got the speed, but he was still on the track tour. He wasn't catching passes.
He got hurt.
He wasn't catching punts or nothing. It's like You gotta want to play football, dude.
I'm just giving his positives as to why he could
yeah.
be considered.
But to Ev's
He-
point earlier, he was also doing, things that required explosive sort of techniques, right? So like he wasn't just in the offseason overloading, like this man was that ass sprinting and jumping over hurdles. So, he might be able to come. I don't think he does anything, but I think that running track isn't necessarily like the negative that some people may see it as. But you got to show up the camp and ball out, though.
No, man. No, it's not the negative that we. But if you want to play football, it's a happy medium. It's like you have to go hone in your catch. You have to go hone in your route running. Yeah. And it's like if you want to play football, you have to practice in the off season. I learned this after so after my rookie season, I came back like chubby as hell. Because it wasn't like in college where you have that all-season workout conditioning where they get you up at 5 a.m, then you have spring ball. You had a couple of fucking mini camps, and that was it. And it's like so you have to hone in your own skills. You have to be your own company. Yeah, it's like nobody's gonna teach you. It's like you think we're gonna wait on him to learn how to run routes and stuff, how to run routes good and with timing. It's like. It wasn't like he was the best. That's why he really didn't make the squad.
No, I'm not advocating for Devin Allen at all. He a track runner, bro.
I know, but it's like the part that I don't think that we're paying attention to is like either you want to play football or you want to run track. It's like
I think a lot of people in the fan base share your sentiment.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, because
you're not in the minority. Then.
Well, not because he was doing all those events and stuff, and I was like, dude, why ain't you in minicamp or something? Catching from the jug machine or something, If even though everybody we all down on Quez Watkins when he came out of college was a one-trick pony. He went and he worked it to work to where now they actually give a fuck about him, and it's his job to lose. And it's like that's what I'm talking about with Devin Allen. If he wanted to play football, that's what he would have done in the off season. He would have went and learned the route tree. He would have went and caught a bunch of passes and stuff. Not on the track circuit.
Hey, I think it's a great PR move by the Eagles. That's a deep thought. You have to go to the layers. That's easy press all across the track world. Get it out there. Free promotion. Last training camp, everyone was asking, what did you see at Devin Allen? The biggest highlight I saw him make in all of the practice I attended to last year, he ran a sprint after practice.
Devin Allen?
That was the biggest play he made. He's dealing with a calf strain. He did pull himself out of the event. He could have, if he did run, his time would have been the fastest. But again, like he will be at training camp.
You're talking about track, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about football, right?
So
you want to know a race I saw? Now we had the fastest dude on the team challenge T.O. to a race. The fastest dude on the team, it was one of the special teamers. It was a white guy, But so he challenged T.O. to a race, and T.O. gave him like a head start. I didn't think T.O. was going. Sean Morey, remember Sean Morey?
Oh yeah,
fast as all get out. T.O. blew the doors off the kid, gave him a head start and everything. That's when I knew T.O. was the man, and still is the man. Running probably like a 4.5 or 4.49 or something, looking like a physical specimen. The part about physical specimen, I didn't think about buying Nutrigenics until they had him on the commercial. They had like Doug Flutie, Andy Van Slyke, and like Frank Thomas. So I was like,
I was gonna say Frank Thomas.
Frank Thomas looked like a walking tub of donut batter. Stop it.
But back to like what wide receivers
what we're talking about
we think we're actually gonna make it here. If I'm being honest with you guys, if I'm just looking at the crop that we have, the UDFAs we brought in, that's great. I just don't anticipate. I don't think that they're gonna end up making the squad. What I really what I think ends up happening is not going to be something that we're happy about. I think Covey's back. To be honest with you, I think that they're gonna. I think that they're gonna view him in the returning role, and they're gonna be like, all right, let's just give him another shot at trying to make a market returning.
I mean, it's not sexy, but ball security, and then I mean, if we were
But
talking about
shit,
returns, he did have his best return in the Super Bowl of all games.
You can put G War back there. Hey.
Yeah,
I mean, but
I
G-War
think
gotta
it's a
beat him up.
situation where you got to beat Covey. If somebody goes out there and takes the job, I don't think they're just going to keep him there because he doesn't really add anything additional besides the ball security part. But
I agree.
fielding punts is a big piece of football too, right? Like field position and all of those things. And at the very least, he guarantees you that. So
I just hold on. I just saw Will just say he is the new Reno Mahe.
Yeah.
I think Reno was a better returner, honestly.
Yeah, Reno actually returned the ball. I was like, I just want to, you know what? I get, and it's bad because his girl put out the TikTok of he just fair catches. I was like, wow.
Hey man, sipping ain't easy, man.
Yeah, I mean, to Gail's point,
girl, y'all supposed to be together.
To Gail's point, him having the best return that he had all year in the Super Bowl. I mean, what was another play in the Super Bowl that obviously cost us a lot? It was us giving up a huge field position in a punt, and I mean that ended up being a huge play that potentially cost us the game. So if we could have a guy that could switch the field like that for us,
I thought we were trying to move on.
Well, we did. I mean,
we're limited on options, man.
Why you bringing up old shit, Al?
So are we sticking with 5 wide receivers here, or are we trying 6 here?
We're going.
I think 5.
I think 5.
I don't think the crop's good enough to try and force 6 out of it.
The only 6 I can see is if N'Keal Harry come in and do something that's like God, like he really showing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't
think that happens. But honestly, I feel like that's the only place because who else would he take off of this list? I think the rest of them are kind of locked into their spot.
Yeah.
And anyone that wants to
for AJ Brown.
Well, actually, to the kid Jaden Hasselwood,
yeah,
he's a speed and he can catch. So if anybody's going to leapfrog anybody, it's going to be him. He's out of the University of Arkansas.
He played with Jalen.
I know Coach Pittman down there. And Coach, and I talked the head coach. He was the offensive line coach when I played at Northern Illinois. He said that the kid is the truth. So, so he's like, if he's the truth, then we'll see.
Yeah, I just feel like Harry out of that group too also has the experience of having been drafted, right? Like just had the pedigree, and I mean it was decent. So yeah, but Hazelwood, I would love to keep Hazelwood. That would be great too.
The one thing, Matt, about a first round draft pick is everybody's going to continue to give them shots because they do not want to be wrong. Yeah, my buddy John Harris, I know you remember John Harris, number 90. He got another chance. He got 2 or 3 chances after he left here.
Yeah, but I mean, I was going to say for the whole thing about, where N'Keal Harry was drafted, I think you also have to look at who drafted them. I mean, the Patriots historically are pretty awful at drafting. Yeah. And the fact that, they're the ones that took a flyer on them, that I kind of keep that in the back of my mind. Like, had the Patriots not taken him in the first round, where would he have actually gone? Because I think that the Patriots are poor at evaluating draft prospects.
I mean, I think he was
drafted over Metcalf.
I mean, so was JJ.
Oh, I was just saying.
So we're not that much better.
JJ who?
I think.
I was just watching a video with JJ coming out of the car.
Hold on, I got one better for you guys. We drafted Freddie Mitchell in the first round, and Tom Mojack wanted us to draft Steve Smith.
Yeah, if you go back and just look at the Eagles draft history, if you really want to hurt your feelings, bro, just go back year by year and just look at all of the misses and all of the just obvious mistakes.
Steve Smith got drafted in the third round. Steve Smith got drafted in the third round by the Carolina Panthers.
Hey, we drafted a kicker we drafted Alex Henry over Richard Sherman.
Oh God, that was awful.
It happens.
Wow. But the Denver Broncos drafted the kicker instead of me in the 7th round, and thought I was going to come there as an undrafted free agent. Good luck, motherfucker!
So
I'm not bitter.
Who are we nailing down with this 5th spot in the wide receiver group here?
It's up there right now.
It's not sexy, but I think it is what it is right now.
Yeah, Covey.
It is what it is right now.
Yeah, it is what it is right now.
So any of those back end guys got to fight. They got to fight.
Unless we, I think a couple of the undrafted free agents are going to have a shot at it. But it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for it.
Moving right along to the tight end position.
That's pretty easy.
We have Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll, Grant Calcaterra. We got Dan Arnold that was just brought in, Tyree Jackson, a former
Where's
QB
Dan Arnold
from Panthers.
Carolina.
Dalton Keene brought him from the Patriots, and then we have Brady Russell. Obviously, Tyree Jackson has been injured the last couple of camps.
Yeah, he transferred for quarterback. I think they were trying to give him Trout.
Yeah, from Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think Dan Arnold might make that team, bro. Like,
who said we drafted Trey T over Ray Lewis?
Is that what we did?
No, we didn't do that. Ray Lewis got drafted in the top few. Trey didn't get drafted in the 12th or 13th pick.
So
but still, that's still a good pick, Trey T. Anyway.
yeah.
But
so
back to the tight end. So
I say Dallas got Jack Stoll and Grant Calcaterra.
Oh, Ray Lewis went
I think
26th overall.
Dan Arnold. I mean, Dan Arnold has a shot.
And Trey went what? 12.
Yeah, no, Ray did go for second. He went 26th.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But sorry, Gal. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I thought you said 6 overall.
26.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Trey was drafted 12th or something.
So where we stand on the tight ends? Are we doing 3?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I don't know if it's 4, but I think Dan Arnold makes this team, bro. I think that he ends up pushing either one of them off or pushes the team to keep 4. You know that Dallas Goedert is going to get injured at some point, and I feel like Dan Arnold is really probably the one person that I trust to step up into a role that he can catch the ball and like keep the offense going. Calcaterra, unfortunately, still is a concussion away, right? So, we just speaking facts at this point. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like this. No.
I wasn't even thinking what you said was funny. It's just that's my child that I look out for ever since the draft. Been worried about his mentals, bro.
Shout out to SpongeBob for joining the chat.
SpongeBob.
I like cat in Bikini Bottom, bro. For the tight ends, I agree. I think that it's going to be these top 3 guys: Goddard, Stoll, Calcaterra. I think that there is a possibility if we decide to keep 4 tight ends, which I think would be kind of odd. I think that's where Dan Arnold would squeeze in. But to be honest with you, what I've seen out of Calcaterra so far in his career, albeit he does have that injury history, but when he's asked to step up, he has stepped up. So that's one of those things that I look at him and I'm like, this is a guy that has taken advantage of his opportunities. And for that, I can't really knock him for it. If he comes in and it's status quo of last year, to me, that's good enough to be the tight end 3.
Scott bringing up old shit. He says we drafted Vitae at 164 and Chiefs took Tyreek Hill at 165.
I got. But we went to the Super Bowl and won Super Bowl with Vitae playing that offensive tackle, though.
Big V. And there's a reason why Tyreek fell, right? That like his talent, he was definitely supposed to go higher, but he came with stuff off the field. So I don't necessarily. I'm not mad at them for skipping on him.
Yeah, me neither. Because I don't like a excuse the language. I don't like a volatile motherfucker in my locker room because you don't know when they're going to be there with you. It's like my rookie year, and this was like my first experience with being a grown man playing football as a job. One of our defensive tackles came up missing for like 2 weeks. Yeah.
That's what Philly will do to you.
Well, no. He had so
going on a bender?
Well, yes, he did. Yes.
Yeah.
And the funny part was he was known to do that, but he was supposed to be like better. And everybody was looking for him, including his wife. I was like, wow, this is what being a grown-up like?
Hey, but that was good for you, though, right?
Well, I was only 21. Well, I was. The funny thing was, I was. The way that I got on the field was making plays. I talked to one of my coaches, and he said, "Don't start bitching about your playing time." He said, "Just be ready every time they put you out there. When you go out there, make a difference." And every time, the reason I started starting was because I had more tackles than the 2 dudes in front of me put together.
And you had 88 in Madden.
Well, that too. And then I did, but I was only playing. I was only playing like 15 to 20 plays a game. So it's like
I would put that on my I would put that on my car. Like had a 80. I was rated 88 in a Madden.
well, you know, I don't have to do that. You know,
It's a big deal nowadays, man.
not really. Well, Madden. Well, but now that I found out that the Cowgirl fans are on a part of the rating system. It's
Yeah.
like there's no way on God's green earth that, and I'm kind of pissed because I felt like we should have talked about some of the turmoil that's going on in our NFC East.
We'll get there
with the teams. But we'll continue. You know,
we'll get there. So we're all
So
agreeing.
3 times?
Dallas got it. Jack Stoll, Grant Couture, or okay.
You try that.
Dan,
last
I think Couture.
There you go.
Dan Arnold, I think I think Tyree Jackson. I mean, he's the forgotten man out of this, but we'll see.
Tyree Jackson has morphed into Greg Ward, in my opinion, man. He's just the guy that we talk about during training camp at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's like they were so high on him at first, and then and they did the phantom injury to hide him so that he could stay on the team because trying to transition as a quarterback.
And then they gave him the real injury, and
now it's just like So
now let's talk about the Hogs offensive line. I think we have one of the best in the business. I think from left to right, and then the guy in the center could run for mayor as well. One of the best podcasts out there. You got Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, the Big Ballpa, Jason Kelsey, Cam Jerkins, Lane Johnson, Jack Driscoll, Dennis Kelly, who's just brought back. So we did win the GGB trade. Tyler Steen, the rookie out of Bama, and then here we'll figure it out. But we have Brett Toth. We have Sue Opeta, Trevor Reed, Fred Johnson, Roderick Johnson, Tyrese Robinson, Julian Goods-Jones, Cameron Tom, Chim Okorafor, and exempt is Josh Sills.
Okay. So you can stop at Opata.
Is Opeta in the first mix?
I think he's going to be in the first mix because with his experience and with him coming, he played a lot of snaps last year due to Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson, as great a talent as he is, he's going to go down like a ton of bricks at some point. He's kind of the Jason Peters of guards. That's the best way I could. It's like Jason Peters in his latter years at guard. That's like so. And I think Steen is going to take over Cam Jurgens, but Cam Jurgens will be on the squad because he is the backup center.
So,
but
moving Sue up and Brett Toth out. What do you guys think?
I think both of those guys are going to be in the mix. I
So
think
you're saying 10?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep 10 linemen. It's like because you got to keep 10 line. You got to keep the big dogs in front, and you got to keep guys that know your system and know how you roll.
See, I think Sue, he's got cut 3 times, so I think he's the booty call on the line.
Yeah, but Tooth is that's one of the guys that they can put on practice squad because he's still young.
I think bringing in Dennis Kelly was an excellent depth signing. Honestly.
Oh, I didn't know they brought in Dennis Kelly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We get to redeem that Dorial Green Beckham trade that we had with the Titans all those years ago.
That was horrible.
I mean, when that trade was initially made, he was kind of thought of as just like a journeyman offensive lineman, and wasn't really going to create that much of an impact. But how many years ago are we talking now? This guy has been in the league for the better part of a decade, if not more, and he's been a useful cog in offensive lines. And I think that if you just throw him in between, whether it be a Hall of Fame tackle and a Hall of Fame center, anywhere on this line, he's going to have help on either side of him.
Well,
I think that's good depth.
I think Dennis Kelly. I didn't see Dennis Kelly. I didn't know he was back. Mm-hmm. I've been traveling a little bit, so deepest apologies. I think that's actually a tremendous pickup because it's like he knows what we're doing and stuff, and he's a good offensive tackle and an offensive guard, and he's got that nastiness that we need, coming off the bench. So, but I still think that they're gonna keep Tooth and Opata because both of them are, they know our system. So one of them is going to be on practice squad, and they're going to be interchangeable, depending on who has the most years. The older guy, they may release and bring back. So
I do think I think if Dennis Kelly doesn't make it on this roster, he could be an extra in Game of Thrones. If you put like a little cloak on him,
He
run
wanted to
right
be
in.
a wrestler, man. Like Tank was saying with that angry, streak, the meanness. Like he's a mean football player and a smart dude. He's a good culture fit, right? Like locker room guy. So
yeah,
the North remembers.
Maybe that's why he wants to get in with this Eagles offensive line. Because to be honest with you, I think that Lane Johnson is on the fast track for the WWE after he retires from here. I think that man wants to do some wrestling.
More than likely.
I think James is having a random thought. He thought he just had to get it off his chest. Why is Zach Thomas?
Why'd you bring this back up, bro? We argued about this.
Thanks, James.
Why would you bring this back up?
I don't know why.
Gail, this is Gail's fault.
I don't know why. I don't know why. If you're not, I don't care what your stats say, but if you're not a game changer, if we don't have to prepare for you, you should be in the Hall of Fame. It's becoming the Hall of Very Good. It's like they put him in there before Trot. Trot used to destroy centers. Trot was too. It's like when Jim Johnson first brought his defense here. The reason why Trot was a middle linebacker, because he was like another defensive tackle. He was in certain defenses where he was assigned to two gap the center. I was like, I don't know no other player. It was only one or two other players. Jeff Arad. I don't know if Jeff Arad played for. I'm dating myself, but he played for. He played for the Colts, and then he came here. But when he came here, Jim Johnson brought him here to kind of show Trot how to play that middle linebacker position. And the fact that they got Zach Thomas in there before Trot, I'm sorry, I can't roll with that. Okay, I can't.
So let's see. Toth, he plays guard and he plays guard and tackle. 2020 is asking, is he even an old lineman, a long snapper? Come on, man. Rick Lovato is our long snapper.
End of the show.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is that a question you can ask a real fan? Is
the long snapper?
But he's an emergency long snapper. Because I was the emergency long snapper, and I prayed, and I'm happy that none of the long snappers ever got hurt, because I did not want to smell what my nuts smell like due to snapping the ball. But how
often, as the emergency long snapper, were you practicing long snaps?
I was practicing long snaps every practice.
Gotcha.
But it's like the reason why I said that, Mal, is it's before that they didn't have anybody lined up over the long snapper. So that's why you smell what your nuts and your ass smell like.
Hey,
because they
they got ball deodorant. That's a thing now.
It's Manscaped.
Brought to you by Manscaped.
Yeah. All right, so this offensive line, after Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Juergens, Steen, Johnson, that's 6 players. We carrying 9 or 10?
I think we carry 10.
I say 9.
So how do we fill out this other?
Jack Driscoll, he can play guard tackle.
Okay. Leave it at 9 because where's Tyler? You don't have Tyler.
Tyler Steen can play guard tackle if he needed to. Brett Toth can play guard tackle. Those are all versatile pieces.
And then the last dude you left off, the Opata, he plays both as well, and he's giant.
He's a giant.
I say Driscoll, Kelly, and what do you think, Opeta or Toth?
I think Kelly may be the odd guy out because
Toth been cut 3 times. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he knows the system. But you still gonna cut him?
Yeah, Toth does too.
Okay, but are you gonna cut him knowing that he can go to Indianapolis?
He got cut in the playoffs.
Okay. So any offensive line. Okay. So
I love Opeta as a developmental.
No. This is what I will tell you. Any of the guys who know the system and was in the system last year, as soon as we cut him, who do you think is going to get him? Who's the head coach in Indianapolis now?
Steichen.
Okay.
I mean, that's fine. He could go wither away in Indianapolis. I don't give a shit.
No, but we still the thing is you want guys coming off the bench that know your system and know everything.
It's like tough.
You don't. Yeah, it's okay. There you go. Okay.
All right. So Mailata, Dickerson, Kelsey, Juergens, Steen, Johnson, Driscoll, Toth. Who else?
For now.
One more.
That's 8. You said Kelly?
8.
Dennis Kelly.
Kelly.
Tyler Steen.
That's 9.
Check. Okay. Tyler Steen's gonna make some noise too. We'll see. We'll
I
see.
know, he will be starting.
Steen's on the list. Steen's on the list.
Yeah.
Now moving right along to the defensive tackle, we have Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Milton Williams, Tupelotu, Moro Ojomo, Kentavious Street, and Noah Ellis. I think Kentavious Street is, I think Tupelotu. I think that's a good competition right there.
I think Mojo is going to. Moro Ojo. Dog.
Say it again.
You smell
dog.
toast? Are you having a stroke?
Toast.
Moro what? Say it.
Ajomo.
Badass. Boom.
I think just because of his hand uses and getting off blocks and the way he plays, I think he's going to be one of the guys that they keep. I don't know. Marlon Marlon kind of screwed the pooch last year when they put him in certain situations. And then they drafted the kid out of, and he should have went higher out of Texas. And we'll see. But I think the younger guys are going to overtake Marlon just because you pay them less and you can teach them more.
Now, Deep Sky Bree, Milton is versatile. He'll tell you himself.
What do you run, like a 4.7, bro? Like a
4.6 ish, 4.6 ish.
He ran the same thing that Donald Aaron Donald ran.
He did test. He had some Donald test-like numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Ojomo, young dude too. He's definitely.
Was he 21, right?
Yeah, man, he's a young dude.
I think that he ends up on a practice squad. Like I like Ojomo. Bro, you can't hide.
You
can protect him. Yes, you can.
You get okay. So he has to have a good time here first, and he has to want to stay here first.
This is a dude that's a 7th round pick, right? And so, in the end of the day, you could keep him or not. I think that he ends up the odd man out again, just because going into this situation, he's a player. You already spoke about the difference coming from college to the pros. And he's going against dudes in the pros that have already been through this process several times. I think that Kentavious Street is an interesting player. I mean, he did well for the 49ers last year, like a glue guy, right? Mm-hmm. I like Ojomo. I think that he has high upside, but I don't know if he's going to beat. You said Tupelotu.
Yeah.
I think that if maybe there, I don't know that Noah Ellis makes the team, but I think Kentavious Street makes a hard push for this roster.
Well, the one thing that I think Marlon kind of like screwed the pooch last year when we had to go. Remember, we had to go out and get Dominican Sue and Linval Joseph because he didn't have enough rocks in his pocket. Now it's like it's only so many times they're gonna go with that. And I feel like Ajomo, I feel like he's got the rocks in his pocket, and he plays that style of defense that they want. I think
he has long arms too, which I think.
Yes. And then when I seen him, I was like, dude, if you see the size of his dick beaters, man.
I'm just glad you said beaters at the end of that because that was going crazy.
Oh, is it going crazy?
That was going crazy.
I like Ojomo as well. I think that coming out, I thought that we made out kind of good where we drafted him. Mm-hmm. But the fact that Kentavious Street was that guy that that was wanted over Milton Williams within our own camp, I think that kind of gives him the lead as far as grabbing that last spot. He was the guy that was vied for, so finally get him on the team. I think that a little exciting.
And I'm going to make a push, not now, but obviously you got to see what the young guys got. But like Sue's got to be on the bat phone, whenever he wants to come back.
Linval Joseph,
Sue first, though.
Yeah,
Sue first.
Yeah, because the dudes talked about his professionalism, right, and like how he came in and just showed them what it was to be a pro and like how to prepare and stuff, and that shit is invaluable, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know that. Well, okay, so Linval Joseph, that's cool, but Ndamukong Suh is going to be the one that's working out and working and waiting on somebody, waiting on the call, and he's just going to be ready and waiting. I was like, Linval Joseph, unless he goes to a training camp somewhere, I kind of wouldn't trust him. That's just the way it is.
But Jordan Davis, this got to be a monster year. Jalen Carter, we are expecting great things.
I can't wait to see those two paired up next to each other, like they were back in Georgia. Man, are you kidding me? Davis and Carter, they're going to terrorize the center of
with
lines.
N'Kobe Dean.
Imagine being a bootleg, like a you know,
With Hassan Reddick.
like a bootleg guard. You try and bring in a young
With
guard.
Nolan Smith.
You can't deal with Fletcher Cox and a Jalen Carter.
Huh?
No.
They don't.
Do what?
Oh my God, this is gonna be disgusting.
And
Disgusting.
These rotations are going to be outrageous.
No. You know what's really going to be disgusting is because Desai is it, and I don't know if I've told you guys about this. Desai is a disciple of Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio takes guys, and like he'll stand everybody up at the line of scrimmage, and you don't know who has what. That's what like if you look at our roster, you take the Nolan Smith, the Hassan Reddick, you take Jalen Carter, you take take any of them cats, and you send them all up at the line of scrimmage. You don't know who has what.
It'd be crazy.
That's what we lacked that last year. That element of quote unquote surprise and organized chaos is what we lacked. Everybody always knew what we were going to do, and this is to all those people. I'm not going to include you, Ev, who were Jonathan Gannon it up, and thought that I was just not liking them because I did. It wasn't because of that. It's because he did not. We had the pieces to have organized chaos, and then you add Morrow, one of the most physical linebackers that you quite seen here in some time, and he knows the system. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing rolls up. And you look at the safeties and the DBs that we have that are in the safeties that are interchangeable that can cover the slot. The safeties that and like you look at the safeties that cover the slot and what they could do. It's gonna be great, dude. I just can't wait till they get up to speed and everything and play it like second nature.
I do think Daniel from Swedentown says, "Do they, So and Joseph have Eagles first?" I believe they do.
Yeah. It's like I think if we have some injuries or something, or we start to falter, the Sue is the first guy you call.
And Sue don't want to go to. He ain't going to no training camp. He's like,
no, you're not. No.
Yeah, he already said that.
It's like it's kind of funny because training camp's not like they used to be, and I've been to them from the beginning to the end. And I'm like, dude, the first 3 days used to be like a battle royal. And it was like it was 2 days, it was 2 a days, both padded, two and a half plus hours of practice. And then if you're fat like myself, you had 30 minutes of cardio afterwards and lifting weights. There's no way to get around that.
Speaking of weight,
mm-hmm.
James says big place Slay better earn his check.
I think he's earn his check.
Yeah, of course, man. That's solid weight right there.
Now your next okay. It's 7:30 already.
Deep Sky Breeze says, would you rather have 70 plus sacks again this year or 15 interceptions?
With the 15 picks.
Give me the 15 picks, baby.
Yeah. 15 picks.
You know why you want the 15 picks? Because those are turnovers.
The ball
yes, sir.
Putting our offense in the optimal position.
Some of them might even turn into points. You know what I mean?
Yes.
People taking it right back to the crib. And that's demoralizing to an offense.
Yes. I was part of a defense that led the league in return yardage on defense.
Mm-hmm.
the 99 year, our first year in Jim Johnson's defense, it was kind of funny because we didn't even know it. Like every pick, because you just didn't want to be that guy that didn't get a block. Because Jim was the kind of person that'll call you out in public. Like, what are you doing here? You're not doing nothing. It's like you checking that bad motherfucker nobody.
So at defensive tackle, do we ever square that away? I've got Cox, Davis, Carter, Williams, and then are we going?
I'm saying street over Tula Topu.
Yeah, I go street over to Pelotu right now.
Yeah.
Marlon, over Marlon.
Jomo.
His name is Marlon.
And then keeping Ojomo.
Jomo.
Yeah, keeping the Jomo. Yeah, you got to go streets over Marlon. Because Marlon screwed the pooch last year, and Streets is the nose guard that they wanted in the draft when they drafted Milton.
And Marlon also stood me up for an interview for draft series.
That's between you and Marlon.
You know, I was putting a target on him as a prospect. We still drafted him, but you know, he stood me up, man.
Bitter about it.
Still.
You like Patricia being part of it?
Still.
Yes, I do. Actually, somebody asked the question: do you like Patricia being a part of the coaching staff after the rookie barbecue and sitting down and chopping it up with him? I like him being a part of the staff. I think he's a straight shooter. That was the one thing was that cracked up because I distinctly asked him about his time in
Detroit.
In Detroit, and he said they were acting like what Detroit is doing now. That's what Matt Patricia was trying to do, and that's what. But when they say that, it was a different person in charge. When you say that, you have to be ready for that. It's kind of like when Andy first got here. I don't know if you guys remember when Andy first got here. He released Charlie Garner, he released Jason and Jason Dunn, two prominent young guys that went on to have good careers after that. But it was like the funny part was they said that they was ready for him to do all of that, but then they started pulling back. So, you know, and he distinctly said that too, and it was like he wished he hadn't never went. So
Ev, we got it straight with the defensive tackle. Okay.
Yeah, got it straight with the defensive tackle. We're only keeping 6, right?
Now with the edge position, we have Hassan Reddick, was all world. Josh Sweat. We love Josh Sweat. He has the best celebration in the league. Brandon Graham, the old mighty Obi-Wan. Nolan Smith, the rookie talent that we all wanted to draft. Derek Barnett, serviceable. Patrick Johnson, Janarius Robinson, Teron Jackson, Matt Leo was just put on the reserve retired list. Talk amongst yourselves. Who are we keeping in this group?
But you got to realize they run a 4-3, and some of these guys are considered linebackers.
Yeah,
it's like you got to take Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith out of the equation because, and I want to say one of either Denard Jackson or Denard Robinson or Teron Jackson, they're also like one of the guys who play outside linebacker. I think you keep Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham. I don't know about Derek Barnett. I don't know about Ken Gilwright. I mean, he's often injured. When he's playing, he's pretty decent. So I don't know about that one.
They do like him. They do like him in practice, though. He's made a couple linemen cry. He
made one lineman cry, bro. Urban legend just growing now.
No, I was actually at that practice.
He did cry though.
Derek Barnett was the one. Oh no, I'm thinking it.
I was actually at that practice. But his intensity they do like in practice.
Yeah.
So what do you think here?
Another vet.
Ev?
I mean, to be honest with you, one of the things I was thinking about just yesterday, pause before I even say it, is the Johnsons, the Patrick Johnsons and the Kyron Johnsons.
Could have said anything, bro. Could have said anything, bro. Pause.
I preemptively paused. Come on.
Damn, you had a chance to say something different. You still said that.
These are guys that I feel like both kind of flew under the radar the past couple of years, and I think that it's one of those. They're both instances of people that around this time of year in training camp, they're always talking them up. These guys are really going to show out this year, and I think that they have Patrick Johnson, especially, has made some decent plays in game.
And Kyron is such an interesting player, right? From a speed and playmaker standpoint. So I definitely agree with you, man.
His cousin is in the comments. True.
Hey, that's what's up.
Drew,
that's what's up.
Drew Johnson.
He's who's his cousin?
That's Cat. Gail was talking.
Drew Johnson.
That's your cousin, right, Drew?
He's capping now. Here we go.
Who? Oh, okay. Oh, he's real athletic. Oh, okay. Patrick Johnson has his speed. I don't know.
So at edge.
But it was like he keeps saying edge, but I said they're gonna put the other guys at outside linebacker because that's what it's like. Sometimes they're gonna come up with like 3 tackles up in the middle
Mhm.
and Nolan
Yeah.
on one side and Hassan on the other side, or
So,
Patrick,
so what should I label this as? As an
or
outside linebacker?
Sweat,
I
or
mean,
Sweat.
Nah, I mean, I think edge is fair, right? Because
Edge,
like even if they playing off ball backer, most of the time
Sam.
they're gonna be going after the quarterback.
No,
All right,
not all the
so
time, but
Reddick,
continue.
I said
Graham.
most. How many times did they drop back? It was like 15-20%, right?
See, Drew has confirmed he
Yeah.
is Chiron's cousin.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he's rooting for his cousin. Well, yeah, your vote is null and void. You can't. We already know where this is going. So, but I think okay. So I'll roll with what y'all said with the edge
So-
thing there because it's going. I think he's going to run a lot of exotic stuff. I can't wait to see something better than what we were doing this past season.
Yes.
The one thing that I think is going to be a lot of people think that I want a constant blitzing. That's my style. If I'm coaching, I know that's my style. I know this guy he's gonna blitz a little bit, but he's not gonna let them know. He's gonna disguise coverages and he's gonna disguise who's coming. So that's what I want.
Did we ever get the so I
Johnson's
have 4 guys written down right now for
Okay.
edge. I got Reddick, Smith, Graham, Sweat. Who are the other 2 filling out? Got Patrick Johnson, Janarius Robinson, Taron Jackson, Matt Leo.
We got to get Johnson on there because his cousin is on there with us.
And you got Derek Barnett, right? Already, so that's everybody before the asterisk.
Yeah.
Barnett. And then I think
Patrick
Johnson's earned his way on there.
Yeah, I think Patrick Johnson makes the team. He was already thinking about the Johnson, right? So
hey, Janarius Robinson also he showed some stuff.
He shows a little bit of stuff, but he got hurt when he was doing good.
So we good here. We got linebacker N'Kobe Dean. He is the next. He's the chosen. Nicholas Morrow. We don't know exactly who he is yet.
I do. He's a beast. He's one of the most physical linebackers.
Hey, we got to see. You got to see it. But Christian Ellis also. He's had a tremendous offseason so far.
He was a special teamer, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Picked off Hurts. We got Sean Bradley, Temple's own. I think we have one guy from Temple in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Davon Taylor still holding on. Kyron Johnson, Ben Van Sumeren.
I think Ben is going to leapfrog up there and might take over Christian because they're really high on Ben because Ben ran like a 4 or like a 4.4 or something.
Wow, athlete.
He's a wild athlete, and they're looking for him to do a lot. That's what I said. It was like when you think of Vic Fangio, you have to think of the illest type of blitzes and stuff, and like the combination of people on the field because you want to trick the offense. You want to really confuse the offense. You don't want to give them what they think that you're coming with. So I think he's going to be one of the guys that they keep though.
Yeah. Coach Walker was asking about the Davion experiment. And Gail, you and I, we talk about this all the time. And we discussed him. We had a whole video on Davion and like that move from the. I'm gonna always say I think the biggest mistake the Eagles made with him is cross training him across all of the linebacker positions as opposed to focusing him on just one
position.
He was already not knowing the position, and so getting him in, you know what I mean. So
because he was a safety at college.
Yeah, well, he played the star, so he was like kind of safety, sort of like what Sidney Brown did, right?
Rover.
He was responsible for the slot, and so moving into a more traditional linebacker position, he never really got a chance to get acclimated. So that excuse sort of goes out the door now, just because what's this, year 4? And so I guess this is the time where you get a chance to see who and what he is. I think that if Davion puts forth good effort, he makes the team because he is a former 3rd round pick. Tank, you talk about all the time. People don't want to be wrong, right?
They do not want to be wrong.
He'll get that opportunity, but have to earn it. And I think Ellis is somebody who was already making plays. A lot of people talking about him, a lot of chatter around him, and so and then Van Sumeren is that super athlete. So interesting group at linebacker.
And Mel, they gave Van Sumeren a hefty signing bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I watched some film on him.
They gave him when they give you money up front, the signing bonus. When they give you a lot, I think he got like $130,000.
Yeah, but Carson Strong got broke off last year, and they cut him almost immediately. So
he did,
that.
Well,
Carson Strong was out of there.
Carson Strong was gambling.
He got 100.
Carson Strong was
I knew Carson Strong, and Carson Strong called me 4 or 5 times from over at the casino next to me. So I knew why he got. I knew this is a little bit different. So they invested some a little bit of cheese in him, and I don't. It's like they are enamored by his athletic ability.
Yeah,
and
he was an athlete.
And then with Davion Taylor, I think he's more of trade bait than anything.
Yeah, Van Sumeren got 130,000 guaranteed in his deal. So are we good with that group? Yep.
Yeah,
4.
I'm done with Davion, man. That's all I got to say about that group.
Okay, let's
That's how I feel about Kayvon Wallace, right? That
oh my God,
you had your chances. You had so many chances, bro.
And looking back on that draft, it's honestly just infuriating too, because they came into it or came out of it saying it's like we just pretty much want the fastest team in the NFL. It's like, how did that work out, man? I mean, there's a lot more to an NFL roster than just speed.
Now, talking about speed.
So who were the 4 linebackers?
We had Jacoby Dean, Morrow, Ellis, Sean Bradley.
Okay.
Now with this one, I don't know about Zach McPherson because they kept putting Josiah Scott over him, and when you look at
they trying to get Zach on the boundary now, right?
Yeah, it's like
or in the slot. My bad.
In the slot.
But it's like, but when you look at it, it was opportunities last year when guys went down and they didn't go to you. They didn't go to you for a reason. They don't have the confidence in you. Maybe the new coaching staff may have some confidence in them, but I highly doubt it because it's like one of those things where I feel like Greedy Williams, because Greedy Williams has played against all these guys and with a lot of these guys, he's gonna feel like right at home, and it's going to be interesting.
I think Greedy Williams is the he's got a great opportunity to compete.
Yeah,
yes, sir, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Darius Slay, obviously, Bradbury, they've been tremendous. Vontae Maddox.
I feel like they're going to move Vontae to
safety.
I feel like they're going to move him to safety. I hope he stays healthy.
So. But
but it's like he plays with reckless abandonment, and you can't take that away from him. Yeah. But it's like that's why I feel like you got like Zach McPherson. I feel like you overplayed that one. Josiah Scott and some of those guys may be on practice squad. But I don't think. But with Zach McPherson getting jumped by Josiah Scott, not only Josiah Scott jumping over him, but then in the game moving Josiah Scott to safety when he had been playing corner. That's how they got the 30. The 30.
So are we going 6 here?
I think 6 is right.
I
think honestly think that I've been saying this all off season, but I like Josh Jobe last year, and I think that he's another guy that is going to have an opportunity in this training camp to kind of prove his worth. I mean, he's another Alabama guy, dude. Like the Alabama DBs, I'm about it.
I mean, even Mario Goodrich pushed, for a spot last year, right? Like he was one of the final cuts,
right?
The dude that the team was high on. So it's
but
a lot of
torched in the last game.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to learn from stuff like that, right? But he got an opportunity to play and get out there on the field.
But Matt, think of this: when they give him that opportunity, if he's able to overcome that, when they give him the opportunity this year, because when you go into this now, the one thing that you have to know as a player is that second and third game, that's when you're gonna get your time to shine because it's real action. And when I say real action, everybody always talks about practice. Practice, we give a fuck about you. The game, the opposing team don't give a fuck about you.
No.
That's the one difference. And that's it. It's like when you in that situation and they would torture them the way they would torture them, I knew he was gonna get cut. And this is his chance to redeem himself, to show that he has a sharp memory and that he has improved.
So I was gonna say that the 6 cornerbacks were saying Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, Ringo, Greedy Williams, and who else?
McPherson.
I didn't say McPherson.
I just don't think they ain't gonna let McPherson.
Did you say Job? The kid Job.
Job was the last one.
Yeah, Job was the last one.
It's really. I really want to see Greedy Williams make this team.
I have right now. I have Slay, Bradbury, Maddox, Ringo, Williams.
Mekhi Gardner got an interception.
So either McPherson or
but
Josh Jobe.
that's before everybody else got there, though.
I think I would take Job at this point over. I mean, McPherson. I know that they were trying to bump him up and talk about how good he was doing special teams wise last year. And if no one really pops off and shines during training camp, that may be the thing that keeps him on the roster. But
Yeah.
I kind of would rather take a flyer on Job at this point.
He's been making some of those tweets. It's like, what does the dude got to do around here?
Like,
McPherson?
Yeah.
Really get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. When you start making tweets about
so
shit,
we going McFearful or we going Job here?
We're going Job here. But when you start putting down, when you start Jalen Rager it up, really.
But I just don't think they would let him. They wouldn't move off him.
Next position.
So safety, we have Reed Blankenship, who had a breakout.
How do you
year.
got Kevon Wallace over Justin Evans?
I'm just saying, we didn't make any. This list is not locked yet. Reed Blankenship, Terrell Edmonds, we brought him in during the off-season. Sidney Brown also brought in during the off-season.
Yeah.
An important player for the Eagles. They had a star on him. Kayvon Wallace, a guy who is Kayvon Wallace, a guy who has been trying to impress. He has some flashes every 90 days. But
no.
All right. So we got Justin Evans also brought in during the offseason.
I like Justin Evans over him.
Tristan McCollum.
Justin Evans over Kevon. That's why. But we've given Kevon the years to come on with it, get on. And on the show Vetted, we talked about that second year. He's had his second year and his third year. The second year, you're supposed to make your biggest leap if you truly belong in the NFL. He's not made the leap. He's not even made a skip. And Josiah Scott will not make the team. Go fornicate yourself. So, but Kevon, I'm tired of the Kevon Wallace experiment. I watched him take a bad angle on too many plays. I feel like the kid Justin Evans, who had a decent year last year, and is coming out. This is going to be the second year from Achilles tear. He was good. I feel like he's going to be that one guy. He's going to be like Bradbury. I feel like between him and Evans, those two guys are going to be our Bradburys this year.
I think Bradbury's going to be Bradbury this year.
I think Bradbury's going to be Bradbury, but remember Bradbury was on a 1-year deal last year.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
That's what I'm talking about. We got some true mercenaries in here who know that this is their money-making year. Right. And it's like it's your last opportunity.
And they're legitimate players. Like these are guys that have actually played, significant downs in the league. And I think that's not that can't be said for all the guys that we're kind of debating here at safety. So I agree, Tank. I think that Kayvon's gone. Ed Reed Blankenship, of course. ED. No, I think if we're looking at that crop, I think he might be the best safety in that room.
Does anyone agree with this train of thought from Bob? He says, I can see us adding another safety at Final Cuts.
Yeah.
I can see, the funny thing is Buda Baker has been putting himself on his social media in a number 3 Eagles jersey. So if it's anybody, I feel like it's going to be Buda Baker.
That would be crazy.
That would be amazing.
That would be tremendous.
Dennis says, Joey says, does Dennis Kelly crack the 53? Yes, he cracks the 53.
Yeah. So Blankenship, Edmonds, Evans, and then who else?
Yes, sir. You ain't show up, my boy. You let work slow you up. So we out here making all the decisions, my guy.
Sorry, Prime. We can't get right.
I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry, Prime.
Sidney Brown, duh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also what's his name?
CJ McCollum.
Yannick Ngakoue, is he still out there?
Yeah, I DK.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Wow, we stacked that DM, man.
Are we almost done? Because it's like almost.
Yeah, we almost done, my
We,
boy.
well, if you tell another story, we won't.
We've got 50 people on the roster right now, and we need to fill it out.
We
We'll
got 3
take care of
left,
Connor
bro.
in the
We
long
we
term.
almost done, bro. We almost done, man.
Well,
I
Dick
mean,
Cheney. Well, sorry, Dick Cheney.
The only real discussion left is the punter, because I mean,
This is
kicker,
it.
Jake Elliott, obviously, Rick Lovato is going to be long snapping, and then everybody was up in arms last year about Aaron Sipos, but
Sipos is gone. They're gonna get another punter.
They're gonna get rid of Sipos. Who they got?
we got a UDFA punter.
I think both of them will be gone. They'll get another punter.
Marquette King is coming back.
Somebody put up Kevon Wallace smashed a smidgen when he saw Reed Blankenship arrived and get out of here. The hell out of here.
You don't think Sipos is back?
I don't know, man. We'll see. I know.
Who's in camp though with him? Who's in camp with him?
UDFA kicker.
Oh, that's going to be awkward.
I know. I saw Howard Eskin was saying that
Sip is off. Then
he was saying that they're going to get a new punter.
Well, I wonder why.
This guy.
He had a couple of bad. He had a couple of bad punts.
Todd asked for the punt god
out of here. Todd every show. Get this motherfucker out of here, bro. Don't nobody want him, man. If somebody wanted that guy, he'd be on the team.
Who's the punt guy?
Matt Ariza.
He got some off-field stuff going on.
Get the fuck out of here. Why would we want somebody that's unavailable?
No, he's available. It just comes with a bunch of nonsense.
No. Why would you? Because he's gonna be somebody on the team gonna punch him in the mouth. I'm just saying.
Bob Downey on the Sipos support line.
Oh, that's good. That's it. Yeah. Wow, Bob, you are correct. You know what?
Todd is our resident lawyer. He's going to be fighting for his innocence.
Todd, our resident conspiracy theorist, yo. Every show need him. Todd, much respect to you for bringing it every show, my guy, for real.
Thug Life West Side.
Maybe they'll bring in Tank to punt. Shout out to Mark.
No. I don't.
You wouldn't take a check to punt, Tank? What?
Dude, I wouldn't want to let the team down like that. In the old city. Dude, I could even.
You imagine Tank becomes the punter and then he still has to jump on the show and we have to rip him apart. Tank, what the fuck was that, bro?
Man, it was sweat in my eye, man. Damn.
Man, you gotta get your leg up higher than that, Tank.
And I clearly had asked for the ball right here, and it was over here. Get the hell out of here, man.
All right, that's a 53-man roster right there. We've got as it's filled out.
Oh, we
got 3 quarterbacks, 4 running backs.
Read it off first, Ed.
3 tight ends. You want me to list off the players? All 53?
SpongeBob wants to. He's listening. He's waiting.
We got 5 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 9 offensive linemen, 6 defensive tackles, 6 edge rushers, 4 linebackers, 6 corners, 4 safeties, and 3 specialists for a 53-man roster.
I'm proud of you guys for getting through this. Obviously, it's always
let's do a mock draft, yo.
Let's do a mock draft.
Let's do it. Let's knock a mock draft out.
Let's do it. Hey, if you guys were with us for the draft season, that was actually one of the funnest draft seasons we had. A lot of the prospects we had got on the team, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey, yo, I was thinking the other day, I think our first mock draft, we did do Jalen Carter, and then we did go back with Nolan Smith. Did we?
I think so. And then we talked about how that would never happen.
I'm not gonna tell that fable unless we have it documented. So it sounds tremendous, and I hope we did it, and I wish we did it. So.
Shout out to Ben. He said we need some more Brandon Hunt t-shirts. Brandon Hunt's my guy. Now Puga from Texas, El Paso, that is. You think Howie makes a trade during the preseason for safety or running back?
I feel like safety is more likely. Running back is a solid room situation. If a safety, Buda Baker, we talked about already, right? Yo, I'm so curious about Isaiah Simmons, son, and this defense. I feel like he missed for the Cardinals just because they kept moving him around, but the height, weight, speed combination with the side could be really interesting. So it's going to be some folks that might be available, but I feel like sit and see what you have, get some folks out there. And yeah, training camp is right here, man. So we're going to know soon, thankfully.
Damn, Skippy.
Pete says we should bring in Destroying, but he makes more money on YouTube.
He's making cake on YouTube.
If anybody doesn't know, he's a ex-football player from Florida.
University, but he could play though. He
Can
could
he play?
punt. He could punt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can he play? Can he punt when the heat is on though? I've seen people
He
that
was-
can kick.
He was a good punter. They just I don't know exactly what happened, but people say he got like blackballed from the NFL.
What did he do?
I'm not 100% sure, bro, to be honest, but he turned it into like a lucrative opportunity on YouTube. He has like his own channel and stuff.
Yeah, he was trying to fight the whole thing. They told him to get rid of his YouTube channel. He said no, and here we are. But if you guys are looking to book a trip this season to a away game, shout out to Philly Sports Trips. Make sure you go follow them at phillysportstrips.com. You can follow them on all socials at Sports Trips PHL for more information. Shout out to Bud Light for holding us down at all the tailgates, providing the suds per usual for the last 6 years, supporting us, so we're supporting them. Shout out to Conshock and Bakery. Make sure you show them some love. They've been around for 50 years.
Right there.
So
shout out to my boy Drew from Philly Sports Shirts. I gave the shirts I gave you guys, the damn CB t-shirts. I gave everybody except F because F is the only one that didn't show up. Thanks, F. Thanks for showing up. Thanks, thanks, Dick Cheney. But
Prime wears his shirt to bed.
Prime is my guy. I love Prime. That's my guy.
Snuggling up in bed in his damn Skippy shirt.
There he is.
There it is.
There he is.
It's the love connection.
I think that's only Prime was happy because in that picture right there, I was pissed off because his coach was started spewing out rules from a book that he would not share with everybody else. Son of an onion. Oh.
Let's see.
Okay.
Red Zone says, hey guys, where are you all set up for the tailgates? I will be on a flight up from Miami game. G1.
Which one?
G2, pal.
Which game?
G1.
We're in G1 now? We move?
Which game?
G2?
Yeah, we've been in G2.
G2.
Yeah.
Awkward. Well, I'm going to have to come over there in my tank mobile one of these times.
Yo, if you pull up in an actual tank, bro,
I said it's a tank mobile. It's pretty much just going to be a golf cart.
All right.
A souped up golf cart. No, but you bring up a quality point. It's not gonna be a giant tank, but
there's gonna be a giant inside it.
Yeah.
Ben from Down Under says, what was Tank's fluffy toys name he took to training camp?
Well, if you look closely
Andy.
behind me, if you look behind me, I have SpongeBob toys. I have my turtle. I have my sea turtle. My weed smoking sea turtle, and his name is James. My weed smoking sea turtle's name is James.
Not Rick James.
No, just James. This is a weed smoking sea turtle. He sold weed all the time, and I would oftentimes come home and he would have some hookers, and he would be scrambling eggs, and I was like, he was not respecting the pad. You're supposed to hang a hat on the outside of the door when you got company like that, and he kept forgetting, and I think it was because his arms could get out of his shell like they were supposed to. So
I'm just trying to imagine him sparking up in the ocean because that's got to be difficult.
Man, he's a sea turtle, so he's land and sea.
That's true.
So, and he's got his shell on the inside, so that's where he kept his weed dry. Yeah, he goes on the inside, and goes on a fantastic voyage. At least that's what he told me. I'm just saying.
Yo, shout out to Todd. He's asking for Kelly Green August 1st. I've heard, but I've also heard Saturday is the first Saturday. I'm
gonna go over there and try to find out.
Did they give you a free jersey?
No, They make me still
World you
purchase
live in.
everything, but at a discount. It's like money talk bullshit runs the marathon. You got to know that.
Yeah.
But when I go over there, they do allow me to get my number and stuff because they don't allow anybody else to do it because it would be the copyright stuff. I'm supposed to do something with Mitchell and Ness with blah 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 because everybody keeps saying, "How do I get your jersey?" I was like, go to the what is it the shop over there, Eagle Shop. He's like, but they won't let them get it. So, hit me up. I get a list together.
Prime
August
says August
Lucky
5th
from
they
the
come
top
out.
rope.
Oh yeah.
I've heard Fanatic. I think Coach Walk had posted something August 1st on Fanatics. Is that right? Still, Coach Walk?
I don't know. I just work here.
Just here so I don't get fined.
Me too. This bitch got me.
So,
Deepest apologies.
Hey, Prime, we're talking about the Fanatics, dummy.
Pro Shop dummy. Okay. I'm gonna start with my last words because this is drawn out way too long. It's like 8:06.
We would have been done it an hour ago.
Well, you asked me to interject my thoughts and stuff, and then you want me to pull back. Which one is it, sir? Are you? I can't.
You're using up your last word time, Dick Cheney.
Yeah, Dick Cheney.
I know. And my last word is, fuck you, motherfuckers. I do enjoy coming on here. We have to expect. I can't wait to the season. There's only 18 days to the first preseason game. And I know you guys are with me. And make sure I will let you guys know when I'm gonna find out the next couple of days on how many guys per practice I can get in, so that we can go to some practice and stuff and check some shit out. Because I'm going I'm gonna go as an alumni, so that means I can go and look at the D line and kick it with them. Fuck everybody else. It's the D line. We start this shit. You know what?
Starts up front.
Yeah, starts up front. I'm going to fuck with the D line and my guy Jeff Stout, the Stout guy. That's my guy.
Hey, Pete, Nathan, go to phillysportshirts.com. You can get a damn Skippy shirt.
Or a polo or a hoodie. He's got hoodies too. I didn't mention that to you guys. Sorry.
Or a hoodie.
A hoodie, yeah. It's coming. It's the fall. Now.
Yeah, man. Season's almost here. Training camp's here. So that means we actually could talk about stuff that is based in reality and not pure speculation. That'll be fun. And yeah, just there's a lot of positional groups, especially on defense, that still have to be determined. Right guard is going to be a great competition. For me, I really want to see Jalen continue to take the next steps as a passer, right? Like we saw him last year do a lot of really good stuff. And so just excited about football, man. Shouts out to Allison for holding it down with MJ, and shouts out to y'all boys as always. Primo, you was in here talking spicy in the chat. I appreciate that. Keep us motivated. And yeah, man, shouts out to just all the folks in the chat that show up every time and watch and just get here and have fun with us, bro. This is always a good time.
As for me, I just got to throw a shout out to the Eagles social media person. I've been watching this entire offseason. Every single post they put out, all of the comments underneath, it's just, okay, drop Kelly Green. Okay, drop Kelly Green. That's all I see the entire offseason. So what do they do this week? Right. They start trolling you guys. They start trolling you and mentioning how they're not dropping the Kelly Green, poking fun at it. I thought it was hilarious personally. Yeah. A lot of people, were up in their feels about it, but for all of the posts that were made this entire offseason, the only thing that said underneath of it is drop the Kelly Green. I thought it was some pretty good fun.
Resident troller.
Yeah.
That's your last
From one
word?
troll to another. That's some good work.
Shout out to all you people in the chat that came and hung out and figured out the 53 with us. Shout out to all you fans that are going to meet us on the road. We'll be picking 3 trips for traveling with Philly Sports Trips. We're thinking New England.
Okay.
Thinking KC.
Oh yeah.
Thinking LA.
Damn Skippy.
I think so.
Mal, are you down, Mal?
Yeah, we're gonna, man. Listen, you know, I got the little homie, so
I know,
that's
I know that.
negotiations. But
I know that's why I'm
yeah,
asking you.
once you square it all up, then yeah,
Well, no,
at least one.
I know. That's why I'm asking you because I know me and you on another level of the game. That's why I'm putting this out there to you as a big homie. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
so
appreciate you.
it's like so you don't be like, man, I was here the whole time and Tank didn't even hit me up. I was like seriously, you had to let a brother know.
Yeah,
Uh,
nah, you already know.
uh,
When I do, we're gonna be out there having a good time, man. I'm just excited to see. I've never been to an away Eagles game. Actually,
oh
I went to one at the Giant Stadium years ago, but I
man,
haven't been like on the road
no,
for
no, no,
real.
no.
So
That's it. You had
I'm
to
hyped
that
about that one.
Matt. You had to fly in like these guys will tell you. You
Yeah,
had to
the
fly
whole
into you had to
trip,
fly into somewhere, and
right?
then go to like an Eagles bar that's in that city. That's like to me the whole entire time I've been doing this thing, the all the trips and stuff. The thing to me that's awesome is flying into a city and the Eagles bar being there and
Mm,
being able to go there like the day before and have like a not even a pep, but it's a kind of a pep rally, like a little happy hour and a good time and stuff with other Eagles fans. Is that because the one thing that and this is the last story. So when my parents was traveling to all the games and stuff, it was like they were like the bad guys when they were traveling to the game. It was like so. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I will worry about my parents not so much my parents, but the people that will fuck with them
yeah.
because my parents travel with heat.
Mm.
So when people start to fuck, I was like, "Oh, so you for here for the Eagles and this and that, Dad?" But it's like the I wish that this was going on or I knew about this when I was playing because
West
I would put them
Coast.
because I would be putting them on these types of trips
Yeah,
because it gives you like minded people together and you don't have to run into the bullshit. That's the
nah,
one
it's a
thing
fact.
that I love about this. And that's phillysportstrips.com.
The
Tell them that
longest Philly sports trip commercial ever.
yeah, tell them that the tank sent you. Thug Life, West Side, Who Banging Affiliates.
Hey,
Big
Miguel, what's
$10
your
or more.
final thought, my
yeah,
boy?
when Hollis comes in, there's usually a bunch of motorcycles. There's like there's a caravan. Then he comes and he comes out and then they throw rose petals on the ground. It's a
And
great
he
team,
just
man.
flows, bro.
Have you ever
Like, he
seen
don't even
Coming to
touch the
America?
ground. He just float. He's
That's
so
how he
high.
rides.
He good.
Yo,
He feeling
when
good.
when we were in Detroit, I said, "Yo, Hollis, come meet us at the bar. We're at this bar," and he took a car from like 2 blocks.
It wasn't two
It
blocks.
was two
And
blocks,
they rolled out the red carpet
and they rolled the red carpet out for him.
Well,
all the way to the door.
Big time,
oh,
baby. Go.
so you didn't like the fact that the owner knew me already
No, I
because
loved it. No, I
because
love the entrance. I love the entrance.
because I had ate so many of their pieces. Really,
I like the entrance, man.
I'm just saying
I like the entrance.
it helps out.
But yeah, just want to give a big shout out to you guys again. Make sure if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribing. We always appreciate the support. We'll see you guys soon, and as always, fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Bird.